So good day, sir. Good day, classmates. I am Eve M. Gangoso and I'm tasked to report about the topic gray water reuse systems. So here we have the list of the topics. First, chapter 15.7, we have gray water reuse systems. We have the gray water and black water, gray water reuse, gray water diversion devices, gray water treatment system, and gray water use regulations. For chapter 15.8, we have the alternative wastewater treatment systems. We have the PV or latrine, and we have the composting toilets, the bi-level composting toilets, self-contained composting toilets, the incinerating toilet, and the holding tanks. First, let's talk about gray water and black water. What is gray water? So, gray water, or it can also be spelled like GREYWATER, is an treated wash water from bathtubs, showers, lavatory fixtures, and clothes washing machines. Although no longer portable, it is water that is relatively free of toilet waste. So, although gray water will contain bacterial contamination, example of this is the total and fecal coliforms and heterotrophic plate count HPC bacteria. From normal bathing and washing of underwear and diapers, it does not contain bacterial contamination at the same level as does water with toilet waste. About 50 to 80% of domestic wastewater is gray water. So, the use of gray water. An obvious use of gray water is that it may potentially replace treated tap water used for landscape irrigation. It may benefit plants because it often contains nutrients such as nitrogen or phosphorus. Gray water use also helps overtax municipal wastewater treatment plants because gray water use diminishes sewer flows, thereby lessening the need to overwork or expand such treatment facilities. So basically, this is gray water. Here is the environmental benefits. Treated gray water, then have the treated gray water. So basically, gray water is described as gently used wastewater that comes from sources such as bathroom, kitchen, and laundry. It is relatively clean and cannot be compared with the water from toilets. So this is not the water from toilets. Mamaya i-discuss natin ano yung tawag sa water from toilets. So generally, any water that is drained from the house other than toilet water can be described as gray water. It may also contain traces of food, grease, hair, dirt, or particularly household cleaning products. So, as much as it may look dirty, gray water can be reused for other purposes and does not necessarily have to be disposed of into the sewerage system as other types of wastewater do. This means that it is not really wastewater, but could be repurposed for safe and beneficial uses such as yard irrigation. It therefore serves to substitute fresh water for some purposes, thus allowing for water conservation as well as reducing the amount of water that is sent into the sewage system for treatment. So basically, gray water does not include the discharge sa toilet or fecally contaminated wastewater of any kind. Gray water is ideal for garden watering with the appropriate precautions such as using low or no sodium and phosphorus products and applying the water below the surface. Appropriately treated gray water can also be used indoors for toilet flushing and clothes washing, both significant water consumers. So, yan siya. So, basically, ang gray water, muna siya ang mga water sa, sa mga, kanang sa sink, murag kanang gasa na tong plato, mga usay mga contain siya foods, mga grease, mga dirt, pero ginatreat ang gray water para naana po siya purpose. So basically, ang purpose aning gray water is that makakonserve din siya og water. Syempre kita kung halimbawa, for example, gamit ag water sa other activities like for example mag car wash or mga kanang mangdilig, di ba? Usually atong ginagamit na water is katong clean water man jud. So instead na clean water nga kanang sige tag kuan og water nga nang murag nang sige na gud pabaya sa water, sige agas ang water ana. Ang naay nabuhat ang mga tao nga kanang gray water, so i-treat ng gray water which is mga naay mga dirt siya gikan na siya sa nagamit na pud nato na water, i-treat na siya or i-disinfect tapos para mawala ang bacteria o katong mga solid waste na kasama sa water, mao na siya i-treat siya para magamit na pud usab ang water. So di ba murag mas makatipid ta ana, murag it's way of conserving water good na. So karon gina-promote ba na to ang mag-conserve of water good. Mao na siya ang purpose sa gray water. Next, as what I had said earlier nga na ay ang gray water dili na siya mao ang toilet water. Ang gray water can also be bathroom water, like kanang pang shower na to, pwede mo na to na siya. Ay, pang shower na to, dili man na siya same sa toilet water nga katong naagod sa toilet nga water, like for example, ang dumi sa tao dito, di ba, kadto sa toilet. So ang bathroom water mo na siya kanang mao pang shower nga flow lang gud siya directly sa floor. Mao na siya ang bathroom water, so different siya sa toilet water. So as what I had said earlier nga naatay toilet water nga ginatawag. So mao ni siya ang black water. So what is black water? Black water contains toilet waste. For example, the feces, the cellulose from toilet paper, and nitrogen compounds from water closets, toilets, urinals, and bidet. So black water may also carry hazardous chemicals from activities such as cleaning car parts, washing. Black water can also be hazardous chemical from activities such as cleaning car parts, washing greasy or oily rugs, or disposing of waste solutions from home, photo labs, or similar hobbyist activities. So, gray water versus black water. A significant difference between black water and gray water is in the rate of decay of the pollutants in each. The pollutants in gray water decompose rapidly. For example, fecal matter from underwear and diapers washed in a clothes washing machine breaks down, exposing potential pathogens to detergent. So, naadre picture nga difference niya ang plain water, gray water, ug ang black water. So, kaning black water, this is the toilet water. Mostly contaminated na siya nga water with toxic chemicals and na mo na siya. Next, we have So as what I had said earlier, black water is a contaminated water with toxic chemicals and our excrement. Next, we have so basically, gray water does not include the discharge of toilet, diba, as what I had said earlier. So, ang gray water, pwede siya sa gardening, pwede po siya ipang sa mga car wash, na different ka siya sa black water. Kaya ang black water daw, gingon diri nga hazardous daw siya from cleaning car parts. Kung hazardous siya from cleaning car parts, unsa na lang jud kung igamit ito siya sa gardening. In contrast with gray water, black water is wastewater from toilets. Black water can be used for irrigation and other uses, but only after extensive and careful treatment to remove or nullify the harmful pathogens and bacteria. Ang black water po, biskan hugaw siya, pwede gyapon na nila matreat gyapon na siya sa mga tao, na ay system nang makatreat ana. Pero naalang siya mga gamit na naalang siya places or events na pwede na to gamiton ang black water. For example, sa irrigation, but it can only be used after extensive and careful treatment. Although the level of the contamination of gray water is low in comparison to black water, concerns about health and public safety needed to be managed, especially those related to the potential for transmission of disease. Both black water and gray water, they were both invented para ang mga systems na buhat para they are both kanang gibuhat sila para maka-conserve og water, but both of them could only be used pag grabe na gyud extensive cleaning and treatment na gyud ang nabutang sa ilaha, for kay syempre harmful man, syempre iwas diseases na pod. So next we have the gray water reuse. What is gray water reuse? Depending on health regulation, technology for gray water reuse can be as simple as saving rainwater from bathing and clothes washer to rather complex treatment systems such as one in which the gray water flows to an aerobic treatment unit, then to a recirculating filter. Gray water needs to be filtered to remove waste particles before being used or treated. This primary treatment will reduce the solids in the wastewater. Once coarse filtered, gray water may be treated using a sand filter. The basic structure in a waterproof box filled with coarse sand laid over a gravel bed. Gray water flows in at the top and out of the bottom. A number of commercial sand filters are available with beds, and sand filters treat the wastewater through filtration and some biological nutrient uptake. Gray water needs to be pre-treated to allow removal of large particles, or else clogging will occur and the lifetime of the system will be reduced. Secondary treatment removes pollutants from the remaining liquid. Treated gray water has had most nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus removed, so it is safer to use in large quantities. The amount and quality of gray water will to a certain extent determine how it can be reused. Gray water is commonly used for irrigation. Untreated gray water can only be reused for subsurface irrigation. Treated gray water can be reused for either subsurface or above ground irrigation. Only treated and disinfected gray water should be used for above ground irrigation because the potential presence of pathogens. So basically, as what I had said earlier, gray water needs to be filtered. So, naay kanang isa ka pa maagi para ma-filter ning gray water, para ma-treat ning gray water. Mao ning ginatawag na filtration. So, para ma-remove ang large waste katong mga solid waste sa gray water, gina-filter siya para maging murag makuha na gud siya, murag tawagan na medyo maglimpyo-limpyo gud siya. Tapos pwede na siya magamit sa mga gardening, pwede na nato siya magamit usab. So once coarse filtered, gray water may be treated using a sand filter. So pwede sand filter ang gamiton para mag-filter o gray water. So wait lang. Diba giingon dire nga only treated and disinfected gray water should be used for above ground irrigation because of the potential presence of pathogen. So why do we need to disinfect the gray water? So disinfection is required for general use of gray water. All disinfections requires regular maintenance. Chlorine is most commonly used for disinfection, but it has been found to have adverse environmental impacts. Ultraviolet, UV, or ozone disinfection can be used in place of chlorination. So, chlorine ang number one na ginagamit. Pero, marag nakita nila nga na daw ni kanang marag adverse environmental impact gani. So, they have invented the UV, ultraviolet, or ozone disinfection that can be used in place of chlorination. So, we need to treat or disinfect the gray water because the health effect of use of untreated gray water directly on edible vegetable plants has not been fully researched. So, I searched sa Google mga a week ago kung sa ba jud kung pwede ba jud ang gray water sa kanang mga vegetable. So, naa dito yung mga website na nagaingon nga pwede, naa po uban website na gaingon nga dili. Kaya syempre, wala sila kabalo nga kung murag wala pa guys study na nabuo nga murag nagapamatuod nga ang gray water safe siya para i-bash siya gani isa ka ng mga vegetable. Tapos diba ang vegetable kay ginakaon man jud na sa tao. So wala pa yung murag study nga nagpamatuod jud nga safe ang gray water for kanang vegetable plants. The use of gray water for irrigation of vegetable gardens should be avoided if vegetables will be eaten raw or lightly cooked. So siguro pwede man siguro siya ibutang kung treated na gid kayo ang gray water, but dili siya pwede kanang ang vegetable, dili mo siya pwede ibutang sa vegetable miskan treated siya kung slightly cook lang gud mo ang vegetable. Siyempre kay basig na apay bacteria, miscantreated na ana siya. Ragi nga na ang nabasa na ko. So, next we have the gray water diversion devices. Gray water diversion devices do not treat gray water but use it directly as irrigation water. Gray water is piped to outdoor vegetation through subsurface irrigation lines. Human contact with gray water must be avoided to prevent human exposure. A soil barrier of at least 4 inches or 100 millimeters must separate the surface from the subsurface irrigation lines. There are two types of diversion devices, the gravity diversion devices and the pump diversion devices. So the gravity diversion device. A gravity diversion device is a fitting configuration that diverts gray water from a plumbing fixtures directly to an irrigation line. A solid gray water diversion valve is designed to fit under a laundry sink. A hose extends from the valve out through the wall of the building and is linked to a garden hose, which is then connected to a slow-release soaker hose. It can then be easily turned off to allow soapy wash water to go down a conventional drain line and on to use the rinse of water for irrigation. So next we have the pump diversion device. A pump diversion device has a similar irrigation piping arrangement to the gravity diversion device, but includes a surge tank to temporarily store and limit the flow of gray water during sudden surge. The surge tank should be capable of momentarily storing a volume of water equivalent to the emptying discharge of fixtures connected to it. However, it should not serve as a storage tank. The surge tank should be fitted with a high-level alarm to warn of pump failure or system blockage. So we have a pump diversion device. It incorporates a surge tank. A surge tank to cope with sudden influxes of gray water for distribution of the gray water directly to a subsurface irrigation system in the garden. The surge tank does not operate as a storage tank. So the surge what I had said earlier that the surge tank should be fitted with a high water level alarm to warn of pump failure of system. It should not serve as a storage tank. Siya. Gravity diversion device and the pump diversion device. The gray water treatment systems. Gray water treatment system (GTS) are more complex systems that collect, store, and treat gray water to a quality standard for irrigation and/or sewage processing flushing toilets. A GTS includes components such as wetlands, intermittent sand filters, soil filters, gray water septic tanks, and aerated wastewater treatment systems. So gray water treatment systems. A GTS requires separate black water and gray water waste lines. Separation of lines is achieved through the use of two independent plumbing arrangements. Plumbing configuration should not allow contamination by waste from the toilet, cause undesirable odors, and result in aesthetic degradation of yards and gardens. So ang GTS daw, it separates the black water and gray water waste lines. So plumbing configuration should not allow contamination by waste from the toilet, cause undesirable. Kaya kung ang plumbing configuration should not allow